In the last episode, we met an extraordinary French woman, Jeanne Calment, who lived to the remarkable age of 122. Undoubtedly, genetics played a role in such an incredible longevity, but as science is starting to discover, another factor made a significant contribution to those exceptional years. This factor certainly had nothing to do with her diet. Her love of wine and chocolate went against all contemporary medical advice, as did her habit of smoking for almost a century. Nope, the other ingredient, she believed, was her ability to mitigate stress through a philosophy of extreme, laid-back detachment. If you can't change it, don't worry about it, was her motto. She believed in letting go of things outside her control. She didn't waste energy on unnecessary worry, which she regarded as a key secret to her longevity. And it looks like she could be right. Most of us think of stress as a bad day or a tight deadline, but our cells see it differently. Imagine your body is a house. Normally, it spends its budget on maintenance, fixing the roof, painting the wall, upgrading the plumbing. But when we're stressed, our body thinks the house is under attack. It stops the renovations and spends every cent on security. If you stay in security mode for years, the roof starts to leak and the foundation crumbles. Today, we're looking at two hormones that control that budget: cortisol and adrenaline. My name is Alan Virtue, and this is Chasing Dexter. To understand stress, we have to start with homeostasis. Think of it as a biological tightrope, a state of dynamic equilibrium where your body's internal systems are perfectly balanced. A stressor is quite literally anything that threatens to knock you off that rope. Whether it's an external threat or an internal imbalance, your body must react to regain its footing. If we fail to manage the duration of these disruptions, we shift our biology from a state of protection to a state of systemic wear and tear. When you're stressed, your brain flips a switch called the HVA axis. This triggers your adrenal glands to flood your system with two things. One, adrenaline, the high-octane fuel. It's great for sprinting away from a tiger, but it's exhausting if it's always running. And the second is cortisol, the survival manager. Its job is to find quick energy. To do that, it actually breaks down your muscles, a metabolic process called catabolism, to turn them into sugar. Let's look at each of these hormones in turn. First up, adrenaline. Think of adrenaline as the sprinter. It's your body's immediate response to danger. If a tiger suddenly appears in front of you, adrenaline is what makes your heart race, your pupils dilate, and kicks your legs into an Olympic-level sprint. It's an instant surge of energy designed to save your life in seconds. But here's the problem with modern life. Your body can't tell the difference between a tiger and a nasty email from your boss. If your adrenaline is constantly spiking, it starts to wear out your pipes. Those frequent surges of high blood pressure act like a pressure washer inside your arteries. Over time, this damages the blood vessels, significantly raising the risk of heart attacks and strokes as you get older. You can't sprint forever. So, if adrenaline is the sprinter, we can think of cortisol as the marathoner. It takes over when stress lasts more than a few seconds. Its job is to manage your fuel, specifically your blood sugar and fat, to keep you going for the long haul. Now, in a perfect world, cortisol follows a beautiful 24-hour rhythm. It peaks in the morning to wake you up and dips at night to let you rest. Longevity is often linked to maintaining this natural ebb and flow. But when the stress never stops, cortisol becomes what could be called biological battery acid. Your mitochondria are your cellular power plants, but under chronic stress, they get leaky. Instead of producing clean energy, or ATP, they start venting energy as heat to protect themselves. So instead of running smoothly and efficiently, everything starts working harder just to maintain the basics. It's like running your car in first gear at 100 miles an hour. The engine is screaming. You're burning fuel, but you're not actually going anywhere. This leads to what scientists call mitochondrial decay, which eventually causes your tissues to thin and your energy to crash, and it literally erodes your health. High cortisol can shorten your telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA. Think of telomeres as the plastic tips on the end of shoelaces. Every time your cells divide, that tip gets a little shorter. When the tip is gone, the shoelace unravels. High cortisol acts like a pair of scissors. It speeds up the shortening of these tips. When these caps get too short, your cells get the message to stop dividing and start dying. Research shows that high stress can effectively steal 3 to 6 years of life from your cells by making that clock tick faster. And it doesn't stop at your DNA. And this is the scariest part. Stress actually rewires your brain. Chronic high cortisol can actually shrink the hippocampus, the part of your brain used for memory. And it grows your amygdala, the part that feels fear and panic. This is why you get brain fog when you're stressed, and why chronic stress is linked to a higher risk of Alzheimer's. Physically, it turns the body against itself. Cortisol promotes muscle breakdown and bone thinning. It breaks down collagen to cause thin skin that tears and bruises easily, especially on the hands, forearms, and legs. It's a fast track to frailty, making us older than our years. High cortisol also promotes fat storage and triggers the liver to produce more cholesterol, leading to higher cardiovascular risks, plaque accumulation in arteries, and body inflammation. When these two hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, are on the clock for too long, so to speak, they create a condition scientists call inflammaging, aging caused by chronic inflammation. It's a perfect storm. You start storing fat around the belly and your blood sugar rises, leading towards type 2 diabetes. Cortisol stimulates lipolysis, which is the breakdown of fat stores, releasing free fatty acids into the bloodstream, which are then taken up by the liver. But conversely, it hinders the liver's ability to break down fat or export it, causing triglycerides to accumulate within the liver cells. And your immune responsiveness declines. At first, cortisol lowers inflammation, but eventually your body becomes resistant to it. Your immune system weakens, yet you stay in a state of low-grade constant inflammation that damages your tissues. Combine the high blood pressure from adrenaline with the high cholesterol from cortisol, and you have the ultimate recipe for heart disease. Chronically elevated cortisol can also damage the optic nerve by increasing eye pressure, reducing blood flow to the optic disc, and initiating inflammatory processes that can lead to permanent vision loss. This sustained stress response is linked to conditions such as glaucoma and anterior ischemic optic neuropathy through related metabolic conditions, for example, hypertension, diabetes, or high cholesterol. But the good news? The real danger isn't the stress itself. It's never returning to safety. But how do we convince a modern brain that the danger is past? Biology is plastic. You can rewrite this. We can flip the switch from survival back to repair. In the next episode, we'll look at many of the practical ways we can reduce stress and, as a consequence, lower the chronic cortisol levels that do so much damage to our bodies. But here's a hint. This beautiful, natural environment I've been walking through during the course of this episode is just one of the ways available to bring our stressful lives back to normalcy. Just being in nature has proven to lower cortisol better than almost anything else. The Japanese have a name for it,
Shinrin-yoku,
which translates to
forest bathing.
And proven benefits include lower cortisol and blood pressure, increased immune function, and reduced anxiety. Managing stress isn't about spa days, it's about protecting your biological reserve. If you want to live longer, you have to tell your body that the war is over. Now, we can't all have Jeanne Calment's genetics, and we certainly shouldn't take up smoking, but we can adopt her philosophy. By learning to let go of what we cannot control, we take the emergency team off the clock. We stop the battery acid from eroding our DNA, and we allow our body to move its budget back to where it belongs, on maintenance, repair, and a long, healthy life. If you can't change it, don't worry. Your cells will thank you for it. Thank you again for watching Chasing Dexter. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Doing so really motivates me to keep researching and producing these videos. Oh, and don't forget to leave a comment, especially if you'd like me to investigate special topics in future episodes. I'll do my best to bring you the latest news on all things relating to aging and longevity, both scientific and anecdotal. In the meantime, stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.